Hi everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. Please do me a huge favor and press the thumbs up button. It helps me on the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. And share this video with other people who might find it helpful. I appreciate all of the comments. I read all the comments. And thank you so much for the dialogue. Thank you for dialoguing with other people as well. I appreciate everybody. In today's video, we are going to be talking about de-escalation. De-escalation training, de-escalation as a concept for private security. So let's talk about first how we got here. Like I said, I go through all the comments, and I don't remember if this was a video that was made in response to one of my videos or a reply to a comment. But anyhow, this originated from one of our subscribers named Justin Humphreys. And he questioned the effectiveness of the whole concept of de-escalation. For a couple of days, I started to ponder on the concept, and I was a little bit annoyed with Justin. And I was thinking, why would he put the whole concept of de-escalation in a negative light? I mean, don't we need more de-escalation training? You often hear in the media, the police failed to de-escalate. The police need to go through more de-escalation training. De-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. That term is being thrown out there a lot. It's written like this, de-escalate, and sometimes it's written like this, de-escalate. Just depends on who you talk to. I'm going to have to agree with Justin. This is a term that has been overused and misused by the media.
Hi, you can call me Jennifer. The scenario, a drunk man at a supermarket.
The goal of this is for de-escalation.
I got my private security license back in 1998. In those days, you just take your 8-hour the guard card course, which is basically your security registration course, and at the end of the day, the instructor hands you a pink slip. You're able to work with that pink slip for anywhere between 30 and maybe 120 days, and then you wait for the hard copy to come in the mail. You had the option, it wasn't even required, to take a lot of other security related courses. But I wanted to be able to de-escalate situations. I wanted to be the best private security officer that I could be. And this is 1998. So I took a whole lot of courses. I took this course that was titled something to the effect of crisis intervention. And I thought this is going to be a cool course, an awesome course, because I'm going to be able to talk somebody down, somebody who's upset, who's agitated, who's aggressive. This course will allow me to talk them down in such a way that we could communicate. And I took the course. It was 100% security related course, and the instructors recommended that I purchase this book, Verbal Judo. So this book was published in 1993, 1994 by Dr. Thompson, George Thompson, may he rest in peace, and Dr. Jenkins. And they republished this in 2004. Guys, this is your de-escalation. This is the manual for de-escalation. This is verbal judo. In those years, we didn't even call it de-escalate. That's what I'm saying. This is a made-up term, a made-up phrase by the media. This is the book. Law enforcement has been taking these de-escalation courses for as long as I can remember. That's more than 24 years ago. Now, I've only been in law enforcement for 20 years. I'm entering year 21. And a lot of courses involve de-escalation. Matter of fact, I was so intrigued by this whole concept of, again, de-escalation, it wasn't called that back then, that I took this private security course again. And then I remember losing this book, and then I bought it again. And it just makes sense. You see, the whole term of de-escalate, it sounds good. The police failed to de-escalate the situation. Security failed to de-escalate, and therefore the suspect lost his life at the hands of the private security officer. It just sounds good.
Ryan Smith here with Titan Protection. Wanted to talk a little bit today about de-escalation techniques, what they are, how we use them at Titan, and some of the tools we use in our training environment. De-escalation is a popular word right now. It's something we've been teaching and implementing since our inception in 2008, and one of the reasons we started the company.
But what you're doing is what the media does, and what these professionals out there, when they use the word de-escalate, they're using it in a uneducated context. Basically, they don't know how to de-escalate the situation. They don't know how it was supposed to resolve, so they just use the word de-escalate. That's it. Dr. Thompson addresses it very differently. And in this prefix of the book, he doesn't even use the word de-escalate. So instead of de-escalating, which basically when somebody tells you de-escalate, they don't even know what they're talking about, because they're taking the short way out. They are not explaining what you should have done exactly or what type of procedure you should follow. They just tell you de-escalate. Dr. Thompson says, after reading this book, you'll look at conflict creatively. You'll remain under emotional control during disagreements. You'll find solutions to potentially difficult situations. Maintain professionalism in any context. Use words instead of actions to achieve goals. Avoid using language that expresses personal feelings during conflicts. Employ empathy to stay engaged with people while maintaining self-control. Use words that are on target by first understanding the listener's point of view. Ensure that you are understood. Achieve cooperation and break through uncertainty, confusion, anger, mistrust, and even prejudice. Communicate with difficult people without shaming, blaming, or manipulating. Safely take action when words fail. Nowhere here does it say de-escalate. These are all of the things that Dr. Thompson has taught us. He addresses every single one of these concepts. Jeez. Guys, after I'm going to say it, after this George Floyd incident, I'm in California. George Floyd was in a state that was nowhere near California. Yet, we have all of these George Floyd laws in California. As part of the new legal requirements, Governor Gavin Newsom signed quite a few bills that affected police, that affected law enforcement officers. There was a whole list of mandatory de-escalation training. And being a sworn member of the public, I had to go through a lot of de-escalation training. So I've taken the de-escalation course. I've taken the suicide by cop course and other crisis intervention courses. As a matter of fact, I just finished module 2 of the FTO school. This is a renewal course, and de-escalation is addressed again. I took chemical agents. They talk about de-escalation again. I mean, they're beating it too much right now. It's advisable to you guys, if you're taking firearms courses, that's great, but try to change it up. So recently I've taken a chemical agent instructor course just to change it up. I want to be able to teach others how to de-escalate situations. So I've taken the de-escalation instructor course that was given by the Force Institute. If you have been in law enforcement for some time, you've probably heard of the Force Institute. If you're in the correctional business, most likely you have, just depending on the level of training. But the Force Institute is known nationally as an institute that teaches others the science of de-escalating situations. De-escalating situations. And guys, I'm gonna slip up with my terminology. I wish I can use the word reduce, but this term of de-escalate is just, I hate to use the word brainwash, but it's brainwashed in me, so I'm gonna keep using it. I've taken some of these courses, and then I've realized that a lot of these courses are courses that I've taken on my own time, on my own dollar, over a number of years. Let's look at de-escalate in a law enforcement context. So every year, and the numbers change, law enforcement officers make about 1.5 million contacts every single year. And only less than 1% involve a use of force encounter. And this can be any type of level of force, level 1, 2, or 3. It could be just grabbing somebody and move or redirecting them somewhere else. That could be determined or defined as a level of force depending on where you're located. That statistic that I just mentioned just shows that police have been de-escalating situations for a very long time, since I can remember. I mean, 99%, at least 99% of the time, they're de-escalating situations. They only have to use force less than 1% of the time. And I say these statistics in a security video because security tends to follow the modes of law enforcement. Private security sometimes wears a gun, sometimes wears a badge, almost all the time, except if you're working some special assignment or executive protection. A lot of time, well, I want to say a lot of times you're wearing a uniform, and you're contacting the same people that law enforcement contacts. Maybe at the grocery store, maybe at the mall, and those people out there who are causing disturbances and causing conflict with private security are the same people that are causing disturbances and creating conflict with law enforcement officers. So I don't know what the statistics are with private security. I don't know how many they contact every year, but I would also imagine that they probably use force less than 1% of the time. I wish that we can just remove this from our vocabulary. De-escalate. With the hyphen or without the hyphen. But it's not going to happen, guys. Our channel has 3,700 subscribers. No, 4,700 subscribers. And not all of them are private security subscribers. We just don't have the push in the private security community to eliminate this word from our vocabulary. The reason why I want to remove this word from our vocabulary, and I alluded to that in the beginning, is it gives the media it just gives them an easy way out. Okay, security officer, shoots guy with a knife, or it'll usually say father of 5. He failed to de-escalate the situation. Well, media or social media, why didn't you tell us how that security officer should have de-escalated the situation? Should he have created space? Should he have created time and space? Well, you create time by creating space. Should the police have been called earlier? How about look at it from an institutional perspective? How about we start looking at the social institutions, maybe the mental health community out there? How come this person isn't still on a hold? Why didn't they let him out earlier? I mean, it's a bigger context, guys, and what they're doing is they're using security and they're using law enforcement as a scapegoat. So tell us how to de-escalate the situation instead of telling us you should have just de-escalated. Pepper spray could not have been used because A, B, or C. You won't see that intelligent dialogue because it almost doesn't exist. So going back to this whole term of de-escalate, my recommendation, and this is not legal advice or not professional advice, whenever you're out there communicating with people who are in a crisis or they're hostile, they're aggressive, I want you to use the word de-escalate. Hey, sir or ma'am, I want to be able to de-escalate the situation with you. Let's talk about it. Can we talk about this outside where there's less people? That way I'll be able to hear you a lot better. There's just too much talking, and I want to hear your perspective. I want to de-escalate this whole entire situation. The media starts hearing the word de-escalate, and they're thinking, hey, this security officer was attempting his best to de-escalate. That's what it has come down to, guys, is using the word of de-escalate in our common day terminology, in our reports. So actually, let's talk about reports. When you're writing a report and you have to end up using some level of force, you want to write in the first sentence, I attempted, or a second sentence, I attempted to de-escalate the subject. However, use that word. Then the attorneys look at it, oh, hey, de-escalate. Okay, this person must know what they're talking about. This is the reality of de-escalate, guys. The term escalera in Spanish is, I think it's stairs or elevator. And Spanish comes from Latin. The term of de-escalate branches off, or the two letters of de connects sometimes with the hyphen to the word escalate. So basically, when you approach this person has escalated rapidly, just like an escalator. Okay, they're escalated. Your job is to de-escalate, to bring them down the escalator. That's what is being taught out there. That's what's being shown to us through mass media. But my honest opinion is that person that is being aggressive, that person has to de-escalate themselves, not you. By going through all this training and reading these books, you're given the tools that are locked up in your brain. You can always open that drawer of tools to bring that person back down, to bring them in a more calmful manner, more peaceful manner, so that you could communicate with this person. I've been through so much de-escalation training so far, and I'm always surprised at the end of the day, the instructors will tell you ultimately it's the subject, the aggressor, that has to de-escalate. You cannot de-escalate. You cannot de-escalate yourself. And you can't make somebody de-escalate. They have to want to de-escalate on your own. And that's why you get a lot of officer-involved shootings. It's not the officer's fault. It's because the person who they're contacting can't de-escalate themselves. You can try all you want, but when that person is under the influence, they are fueled by rage, you cannot de-escalate them. It's up to them. So we're going to have to just pick up this term. I mean, as long as you guys know the truth about it, I think we're good. But use this term as much as you can. I love to throw it out of our vocabulary. I would like to use the word reduce harm, reduce violence. But this is a term we're stuck with. If you talk to English professors, English scholars, they don't even like this term. This isn't even the proper terminology. And I'm sure that they would agree that this is a term that's just embraced by the media. Oh, guys. Oh, man, I don't know what to say anymore. It's just frustrating. All right, I'm looking for the comments, and I'm looking forward to the discussions. Take care, guys.